Good evening, students. Welcome back to BSc first year physics class. In last lecture, we started with complex number. We are defining what is by complex number, how we can add two complex numbers, how we can subtract two complex numbers, and how we can multiply and divide two complex numbers. Now, today we are going to extend that topic and we are discussing. We are going to discuss about Argand diagram. What is by Argand diagram? Or what is the use of Argand diagram in complex number, that we have to discuss in today's lecture. An Argand diagram is a plot of complex number as a points in the complex plane using the x-axis as the real axis and y-axis as the imaginary axis. In the plot above, the dashed circle represents the complex modulus of and the angle represents the complex argument. It means what? If we want to represent any complex number in terms of a diagram, that diagram is nothing but a Argand diagram. It consists of plane, means two-dimensional figure in which x-axis is the real axis and y-axis is the imaginary axis. In case of x-axis, it indicates the real part of a complex number and y-axis represents the imaginary part of a complex number. As we know, complex number is the combination of real plus imaginary term. If we take a point z having coordinate x and iy, therefore that point makes an angle theta with respect with respect to x axis. That angle is nothing but a argument, complex argument, and if we plot the circle with respect to that point, then that circle represent complex modulus. So, with the help of Argand diagram, we can represent a complex number as well as we can represent the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of a complex number with the help of this Argand diagram. How we can represent, that we have to discuss. Okay, so let us start a graphical representation of sum, difference and product. Let us consider positive x-axis and negative x-axis, positive imaginary axis and negative imaginary axis, in which if both the terms of a complex number is positive, then that complex number is present in first quadrant area. If both the part of a complex numbers are positive, then it present in first quadrant area. If real part is negative and imaginary part is positive, then that complex number is represented in second quadrant area, is present in second quadrant area. Now, if both terms of a complex numbers are negative, means real part also negative and imaginary part also negative, then that complex number is present in third quadrant area. If x part is positive and y part, real imaginary part is negative, then that kind of complex number is present in fourth quadrant area. Means from this we can easily identify which complex number is present, or a complex number is present in which quadrant easily. So, if we move forward, now if we are going to add these two complex numbers, one is complex number a is equal to 4 plus j, b is 2 plus 3j or 2 plus I, not j, I, it's for I. If we add these two terms a plus b, it gives 6 plus 4i, 6 plus 4i. Now how we can represent this 6 plus 4i by using Argand diagram? So first, a is the complex number in which both terms, real as well as imaginary terms, are positive. That's why it present in the first quadrant. That can be represented here. Second term, second complex number, in that case also both the terms are positive. That complex number also present in first quadrant. The resultant of these two complex numbers a plus b, it gives another complex number, that is 6 plus 4j. That can be represented with the help of this Argand diagram. Okay, is there any doubt in this? How we can add two complex numbers by using an Argand diagram? So the same complex number can be subtracted, that is sorry, a minus b. We know complex number a is equal to 4 plus I and complex number b is equal to 2 plus 3i. Now here we have to subtract these two complex numbers, but in that case b become a minus b. So if we multiply that minus sign inside the bracket, it gives minus 2 minus 3i, means both the real as well as imaginary terms are negative. That's why it present in a third quadrant. That's why the complex number a is in first quadrant and complex number minus b is in third quadrant. If we add these two, a plus minus b, it gives a minus b is equal to 2 minus 2i, 2 minus 2i. It means 2 minus 2i means real part is positive and imaginary part is negative. It present in fourth quadrant as shown in this figure. In this way we can represent addition and subtraction of two complex numbers by using an Argand diagram. So similarly, how we can represent a conjugate complex number? What is a conjugate? The complex conjugate or a simply conjugate of a complex number is found by reversing the algebraic sign of the complex number, that is imaginary number only, while keeping the algebraic sign of the real number is same. Means in case of complex conjugate, we have to change the sign of a imaginary part only. If plus I is there, we have to replace that plus I by minus I. If minus I is there, we have to replace that minus by plus only, and the real part is remains same or remains as it is. For example, if you consider z is equal to a plus ib, its complex conjugate is a, z bar is equal to a minus ib, means plus I is replaced by minus I. So that kind of phenomena can be observed in conjugate complex number. For example, let us consider z is equal to 6 plus 4i. Its complex conjugate can be represented by 6 minus 4i. Likewise, the conjugate of 6 minus 4i is 6 plus 4i, 6 plus 4i. Now we have to represent the complex conjugate of 6 plus 4i or 6 minus 4i. In that case, 6 plus 4i means both that real as well as imaginary part are positive. That's why it present in first quadrant. 6 minus 4i means real part is positive and imaginary part is negative. That's why it present in fourth quadrant. 6 plus 4i, it makes an angle theta with respect to the positive x-axis. 6 minus 4i means it represent complex conjugate of 6 plus 4i. It makes an angle minus theta with respect to the x-axis. So This is conjugate complex number. Now, quotient of a complex number. In this case, we have to represent a complex number in terms of spherical polar coordinate system. As we are talking about the Cartesian coordinate system can be represented with the help of x, y, z coordinate. The same procedure can be applied in a spherical polar coordinate system. X can be replaced by r, y can be replaced by theta, and z can be replaced by phi. R, theta, phi are the coordinates of spherical polar coordinate system. In this case, we have to represent a complex number in terms of spherical polar coordinate system. As we know, z is the complex number which can be represented by x plus iy. X is the real part and iy is the imaginary part. Now, we have to replace that x and y in terms of spherical polar coordinate system, in terms of r and theta only. How? Because z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1, it can be represented with the help of r and theta is r1 into cos phi 1 plus I sin phi 1, and z2 is equal to r2 into cos phi 2 plus I sin phi 2, where r2 is not equal to 0, Then the result of the division of the first by second is equal to z1 by z2 is equal to r1 by r2 cos phi 1 plus I sin phi 2 divided by cos phi 2 plus I sin phi 2, which can be represented by cos phi 1 minus phi 2 plus I sin phi 1 minus phi 2. This is the quotient theorem. Now, the trigonometric proof of the theory is easier to start with a product theory. That is z1 into z2 is equal to r1 into r2 plus cos phi 1 plus phi 2 plus I sin phi 1 plus phi 2. How that can be occurred, that we have to prove. We know r1 into cos phi 1 plus I sin phi 2 psi phi 1 dot r2 into cos phi 2 plus I sin phi 2. This is nothing but the z1 into z2. If we multiply, it gives z1 z2 into cos phi 1 cos phi 2 plus I square sin phi 1 sin phi 2 plus I sin phi 1 cos phi 2 plus I cos phi 1 sin phi 2. If we simplify it, it gives r1 r2 in bracket cos phi 1 cos phi 2 minus sin phi 1 sin phi 2 plus I sin phi 1 cos phi 2 plus cos phi 1 sin phi 2. By using trigonometric laws or basic trigonometrical formulae, the above equation can be represented in terms of z1 into z2 is equal to r1 into r2 into cos phi 1 plus phi 2 plus I sin phi 1 plus phi 2. Verbally, the product theorem states that the multiplied two complex numbers defined in polar form via modulo and polar angle, module of one complex number is multiplied by another and the angle are added together. For complex number with module 1, geometrically multiplication is a rotation of a vector representing the first complex number counterclockwise by the angle of the second number. In this way, we can understand quotient of a complex number. If you have any doubt with this, you can ask me anytime. The remaining part of this chapter we will discuss in next lecture. Okay, thank you.